Hi, in today's video we'll discuss a major development in the tech world, Elon Musk's new deal with Google. As many of you may already know, Elon Musk is the CEO of SpaceX and Tesla, two companies that have disrupted the aerospace and automotive industries respectively. On the other hand, Google is a tech giant known for its search engine, smartphone operating system, and numerous other products and services. So what could this new deal mean for both Musk and Google, and how could it impact the tech industry? Let's find out. SpaceX's goal with Starlink is to bring high-speed internet access to areas that are currently underserved or have no access. This includes remote and rural areas and areas with limited or unreliable internet access. By bringing internet access to these areas, Starlink has the potential to connect more people around the world to the internet and close the digital divide. Starlink is still in the early stages of development, with a limited beta test currently underway. However, the service is expected to roll out more widely in the coming years, and as the number of operational satellites increases, the coverage and speed of the service are expected to improve. But despite being such a wonderful creation, it still has some issues which have been solved due to SpaceX's partnership with Google. The partnership involves SpaceX installing ground stations in Google's data centers to link them with Starlink satellites, which are about 1,500 in number and are about 500 kilometers above the Earth's surface. What this partnership is promising is some insane connectivity. It's important to note that this is not the first time that Musk and Google have worked together. In the past, Google has invested in SpaceX, and the two companies have collaborated on various projects. However, this new deal is thought to be much more significant and has already generated a lot of buzz in the tech industry. What is Starlink? Starlink is a satellite-based internet service developed by SpaceX. The service is designed to provide high-speed internet access to remote and underserved areas around the world. To accomplish this, SpaceX has created a constellation of thousands of small, low Earth orbit satellites that work together to provide coverage to a given region. So how does Starlink work? When a user on the ground wants to connect to the internet through a Starlink terminal, their data is transmitted to the nearest satellite in the constellation. This satellite then relays data to the rest of the constellation, which sends it to the internet. The satellites in the constellation are in low Earth orbit, which means they are relatively close to the ground, enabling them to provide high-speed internet access to users on the ground. One of the key benefits of Starlink is that it has the potential to greatly improve internet access in rural and remote areas where traditional internet service providers, ISPs, are either unavailable or have limited coverage. This is particularly important in today's world, where access to the internet is increasingly essential for education, business, and communication. By bringing high-speed internet to these areas, Starlink has the potential to connect more people around the world to the internet and close the digital divide. Starlink is different from traditional ISPs in a number of ways. It relies on a satellite-based network rather than ground-based infrastructure like cables or fiber optic lines. This means it can provide coverage to areas that traditional ISPs may not be able to reach. Additionally, because it relies on a constellation of satellites rather than a single satellite, it has the potential to provide more reliable and consistent coverage. Starlink offers a unique and innovative approach to providing internet access to underserved areas around the world. By using a satellite-based network, it has the potential to bring high-speed internet to sites that may not have had access before. While there are certainly challenges and criticisms to be addressed, the future outlook of the project is positive, and it will be interesting to see the impact it has on internet access and connectivity in the coming years. Benefits of Starlink. There are several benefits of Starlink, SpaceX's satellite-based internet service, that make it an attractive option for providing internet access to underserved areas around the world. One of the primary benefits of Starlink is that it has the potential to improve internet access in rural and remote areas greatly. Traditional internet service providers often have limited coverage in these areas or may not be available at all. This can be a major barrier for people living in these areas, as access to the internet is increasingly essential for education, business, and communication. By bringing high-speed internet to these areas, Starlink has the potential to connect more people around the world to the internet and close the digital divide. Another benefit of Starlink is that it could connect more people around the world to the internet. According to the International Telecommunications Union, as of 2021, over half of the world's population still does not have access to the internet. This is particularly true in developing countries, where infrastructure and economic barriers can make it difficult to get online. By bringing internet access to these areas, Starlink has the potential to make a significant impact in connecting more people to the internet and bridging the digital divide. In addition to improving internet access and connecting more people to the internet, Starlink could also reduce internet costs for consumers. In many rural and remote areas, there is limited competition among ISPs, which can lead to higher prices for consumers. By providing another option for internet service, Starlink could increase competition and drive down costs for consumers. Overall, the benefits of Starlink are significant and have the potential to make a real impact on internet access and connectivity around the world. By improving internet access in rural and remote areas, connecting more people to the internet, and potentially reducing internet costs for consumers, Starlink has the potential to bring many benefits to people around the world. Challenges and criticisms of Starlink. SpaceX's Starlink project faces competition with traditional internet service providers. Starlink is designed to provide high-speed internet access to areas that are underserved or unserved by traditional ISPs, such as rural or remote areas. However, traditional ISPs may see Starlink as a threat to their business and may try to compete with the service by offering similar or improved options. Another challenge for Starlink is concerned about space debris and its potential impact on astronomy. The Starlink satellite constellation comprises thousands of small satellites orbiting the Earth. Some astronomers have expressed concerns that these satellites could interfere with night sky observations. The bright reflections from the satellites can be visible from the ground, which can disrupt observations of faint celestial objects such as comets and galaxies. SpaceX has taken steps to address these concerns by designing the satellites to have low reflectivity and by working with the astronomical community to minimize the impact of the satellites on observations. The company has also developed a de-orbit plan to remove satellites that are no longer functioning or needed from orbit, which can help reduce the amount of space debris. However, some critics argue that more than these measures may be needed to address the potential impact of satellites on astronomy fully. Some have called for stricter regulation of the deployment of large satellite constellations like Starlink, or for a more comprehensive plan to address the issue of space debris. While the Starlink project has the potential to bring improved internet access to underserved areas and connect more people around the world to the internet, it also faces significant challenges in the form of competition with traditional ISPs and concerns about its impact on astronomy. These challenges will need to be addressed for the project to be successful in the long term. In conclusion, Elon Musk's company SpaceX and its Starlink project have the potential to bring significant benefits in terms of improving internet access in underserved and remote areas and potentially reducing consumer costs. By using a satellite-based system, Starlink has the potential to reach areas that traditional internet service providers may not be able to serve effectively. Despite their challenges, the future outlook for the Starlink project remains positive. SpaceX has already launched over 1,000 satellites for the project and has received significant demand from customers in the United States and Canada. The company has also announced plans to expand the service to other countries and eventually have a network of thousands of satellites in orbit. Overall, the success of the Starlink project will depend on its ability to address the challenges it faces effectively and to deliver on its promise of improved internet access and affordability for customers. While the project is still in its early stages, it has the potential to make a significant impact on global internet connectivity in the future. Would you prefer Starlink to traditional internet providers? Write yes or no in the comment section below. If you want to keep updated on the latest news, don't forget to subscribe with notifications turned on. Click the video on the screen now to watch another fascinating video.